Last we left off, our founder found her boyfriend in bed with another woman. She went to find Chris to tell him what Dawn had done. Chris was in shock. He suggested they leave the house party and go out to get her mind off of everything. He also asked her if he should get a new job. I think the serial unalivers were getting to him. He calmed her down before they headed into the club. Once inside, Rebecca had not one drink, but two before she moved to the dance floor. Get it, girl. After some time on the dance floor, she went back to the bar for a third drink. While she was at the bar, the most attractive sim she had ever seen walked in. She took some time to move closer to him, making sure he noticed her. He waved at her, and she greeted him back. He asked for her number, which she happily gave him. He told her his name was June, and he lives in Mtiko Moribi. They talked, flirted, and danced through the night. Chris is watching in the back, knowing that this is going to get messy.
Tim boy.
She took a shot and kissed him. Her boyfriend was the furthest thing from her mind. The closest thing in her mind was how she needed June to meet her upstairs. They disappeared and Chris had no idea where they went. When they finished, Rebecca came to her senses. What had she just done? Popcorn aged up. Look how handsome he is. Anyway, Rebecca got ready for bed, deep in her thoughts. She slept through the night before waking up in the early afternoon. She can't stop thinking about what she did with June. She's no better than Dawn. Chris is a good friend. She invited him over so she can tell him what happened at the club. She was embarrassed. She hoped he wouldn't think less of her. He assured her she wasn't a bad person. She just did something in those circumstances that she normally wouldn't. He was comforting her when she got a text from June. He was asking her out on a date. Chris told her to say yes, so she agreed to meet him. They goofed around out front until they went inside to sit at the table in front of the fire, where they continued to flirt and have a good time getting to know each other. It was easier with June than it was with Dawn. That's it. She's made up her mind. She's breaking up with Dawn. The two of them went outside to look at the stars. The stars in Glimmerbrook are brighter than they are in Evergreen Harbor. Rebecca heard a familiar voice and her stomach dropped. Dawn had tracked her location after not hearing from her all day. He asked her who that guy she was with is. She told him about what had happened at the club the night before, causing him to start crying. She told him to grow up, then asked how his roommate was doing today. Dawn went inside to find June. Unfortunately for Dawn, June is not the one to mess with. They got into a fight in the middle of the bar. June coming out as the victor. Dawn broke up with Rebecca right there, in front of everyone. She was upset she didn't get the chance to break up with Dawn herself and went home, her date with June over. At work, she finished her cases silently before heading upstairs to the gym. She wasn't feeling well after a while, so she decided to take her break and relax the rest of her shift. When she got home, she decided she was going to take a test, just to be certain. Looks like Generation 2 is coming. Rebecca is excited to meet her baby in just a few short months. But the number one question in her mind is, who is the father?